So, you want to start a homestead? What even is homesteading? Homesteading is all about taking control of your life, your food, and happiness without waiting for Amazon Prime to deliver it for you. Whether you've got acres of land or just a small balcony that you can fit a few plants on, it's the art of growing your own food, raising a few critters, and generally living the good sustainable life. It's not about perfection, it's about getting your hands dirty, learning as you go, and enjoying that sweet satisfaction of harvesting your own fresh vegetables, harvesting and collecting your eggs, and maybe even making a few homemade candles. So roll up your sleeves, embrace the chaos, and get ready for your best homesteading life. It's basically creating your own little slice of self-sufficient heaven. And the best part is totally customizable. Whether you've got all that land waiting to be farmed or just a small balcony with a few pots. And homesteading lets you take charge of your food and live a simpler, more rewarding life. And it's not a one-size-fits-all. You can pick and choose what you want to do. You can grow that garden, raise a few chickens, or maybe you just want to be a master chef in the kitchen and make some awesome jam. The point is, you get to live a life on your own terms with the side of fresh veggies. It's like a giant umbrella of things under homesteading. Let's go over some of the possibilities. Gardening, raising livestock, canning, preserving, DIY projects, sustainable energy, composting, foraging, homemade goods, rainwater harvesting, permaculture, herbalism, aquaponics, beekeeping, mushroom cultivation, fermentation, which is always a lot of fun. It's like a science experiment in your kitchen, water conservation, cooking from scratch, baking, sewing, knitting, livestock breeding, and firewood collection. It's the beauty of homesteading. You can tailor it to fit your lifestyle and your goals, no matter how big or small. You need to get over that fear of failure, because that is one of the most common things in aspiring homesteaders is fear of failing, which is totally natural. You're learning something new and you want to be good at it. But no one started out as an expert. We all have to start somewhere. And even today's experts face their own challenges, whether it's crop failures or sick animals. We all have hurdles to jump over. And it's all about learning. That's part of the homesteading journey. It's like a roller coaster of challenges and wins and a lot of growth, pun intended. All about learning on the fly, rolling with the punches when things go sideways, and celebrating those epic moments, like the joy of your first homegrown tomato that actually tastes like a tomato, or collecting that first egg from your chickens. Every hiccup is a lesson, and every small victory feels like a major achievement. But first, we have to define your vision. What does homesteading mean to you? What is your why? Figuring out your why you want to homestead is key. It's like setting the GPS for your journey. Whether you're after healthier food, channeling your inner survivalist, or just want an excuse to hang out more in nature, figuring out your why helps map out your adventure and figuring out what's worth your time. It's your homesteading compass guiding you through all the dirt and glory. Your goals should be specific and actionable. That way you can track your progress effectively. So instead of saying something vague like, I want to grow tomatoes this year, it should be more like, I want to grow enough tomatoes to have enough sauce for the whole year. It's actionable, measurable, and it'll hold you accountable for your goals. Starting small is a great idea. Start small so you don't panic and end up buried in compost. Tackling manageable projects first, maybe a little vegetable garden, a couple of chickens, and build your homesteading empire from there. One piece at a time, at a pace that's going to work for you. As you gain confidence, maybe a few more chickens, you can expand. And remember that this is a marathon, not a sprint. So take your time and enjoy the ride. Now, urban versus rural. Urban homesteading often focuses on maximizing small spaces, utilizing container gardens, and raising small livestock like chickens or rabbits. In contrast, rural homesteading provides more land for larger gardens, larger animals, but then you also have the complications of more maintenance and also isolation. Some people prefer isolation though, so where do you want to be? Where do you want to have your homestead? Weather will also be a major factor in your homesteading journey, depending on where you want to start up. It'll be your best friend and your enemy. So before you start dreaming of growing a tropical fruit in the tundra, make sure you're doing your homework. You want to find out about your local climate, check out what zone you're in, average temps, frost dates, and weather patterns to figure out what's actually going to thrive in your area. And don't forget to check the soil, your water supply, and sunlight. You don't want to grow crops you don't want to have your crops throwing a tantrum because they're lacking TLC. With all the right info, you'll be growing like a pro in no time. Access to water is like the VIP pass to your homesteading party. Without it, things can get pretty tricky. You really don't want to be hauling buckets of water for your animals or for your garden across your property every day. Trust me, your arms will thank me. So it's crucial to know about your water rights and ensure you have reliable access before you dive in. Nothing kills the homesteading vibe faster than scrambling for water when you could have just planned ahead of time. So do your homework, set up those systems, and keep the buckets for, fun things like mixing compost or making a big-ass batch of lemonade. Before you start planning your chicken empire and building that dream greenhouse, make sure you check out your local zoning laws and make sure that you're allowed to do so. You don't want to start something and then get a hefty fine slapped on you because of something you weren't aware of. Sometimes certain areas have quirky rules and regulations about livestock and structures, and understanding them means that you get to keep your neighborly peace and not have to pay hefty fines. I have a friend that lives in town that's only allowed 6 hens. That's right, no roosters. Money, money, money. So initial cost property, if you don't already own your own land, tools, seeds, livestock, and it can really changes on price depending on where you live. Ongoing costs will be feed, utilities, maintenance. A realistic budget helps in planning and avoids unexpected expenses in your homesteading journey. Zone in on the word journey. This is a process, so remember, you don't have to have everything at once. Get a little bit at a time as you need it, and remember that you can always borrow from your neighbors. Remember, your nice to haves and necessities are not going to be in the same categories. Your must haves are going to be things like seeds, your basic equipment, necessary infrastructure. You don't have to have solar panels or that chicken motel that you want to have. And also remember that your homestead is supposed to be purposeful. It doesn't have to be pretty. It needs to work for you and your lifestyle and your goals. It doesn't have to be terrifying. Creating a budget and getting creative with community resources like sharing tools, scouring secondhand stores and markets, and repurposing materials can really help. Savvy hacks can save you a ton of cash and help keep your homesteading dream alive without breaking the bank. It's all about being resourceful and maybe feeling like a savvy scavenger while you're at it. All right, so you're going to set a clear vision on what you want, define your goals, pick the right spot, create your budget, and understand your local laws to build a great foundation. You're going to start small. We're going to learn as we go, and then that way you can truly enjoy that first tomato that actually tastes like a tomato without being stressed out about everything. You've got this. So now that you've got all of your goals locked down, we're going to tackle the learning curve next. Homesteading is like an all-you-can-eat buffet of possibilities. There's always something new to try, from growing veggies and raising animals to baking bread from scratch. Hello, self-sufficiency. So stay tuned in my next video in this homesteading series, and I can't wait to dive into it with you.